Peace, peace, peace. 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 Welcome to the Universal Temple for the Sun, Planet, Moon, and Stars. I'll be your host, Lord Messiah. And today we're going to start it off, man, with a little bit of music, man. And when this uploads on Facebook, know that I don't own the copyrights to the instrumental in the background, but the lyrics is mine, okay? So I'm playing my shit. So don't block my music and all of that. But anyway, let's get it. Yeah, that's when it all started. Belport, captain, teaching his first lieutenant in college soldier. You know, in Belport, we first cast down like Newport, still advanced in his sports on the basketball court. I was known as a lyrical kid who stopped and pork and manifested knowledge when he wrote weed and talk. As we proceed to walk, I take you through the streets of Belport, Long Avenue. Hope was a leader in my own thought, an intelligent speaker, plus a teacher through the lessons I taught. In the Belport High School, the 5% rule, while the 10% was shopmanship knowledge, we dropped jewels. The 85%, they tried to use them as a tool, which brought me in tune with my man Abdul, who was cutting school around the corner smoking weed. When I was trying to help this young brother succeed, I told him his middle name Malik was Arabic for king, and on this planet Earth, the black man is supreme. As we took it to the next extreme, started building with Penny. Now I know to y'all as King Kanye, born in understanding through the way that you teach. For mathematics, 120, the language we speak. King Khalid, meaning creative king. He born the science of life to a friend named Steve. Brandon was the camel of the squad. We drove around in the car and we gathered the cars and we drove to the park where we sparked civilization. A child in the car praising and spark conversation about how it was hard to make it and how we blame the black man Yaku for being the father of Satan, which is the white Caucasian. And if we change over racism, we could change the system. That was always the aim of our mission. But there were monkey wrenches in the game, it became twisted. But in our glory, we were true and living. That's why this is more than the story. This is true wisdom. Peace to Hassan, he Allah, the son, one love, who told me a thing or two about the golden glove. There was truth in the reasons I befriended you. And I answered it with Bunika, didn't mean to offend you. But I remember you when I would study Holy Quran, standing strong like the fruit of Islam. We were the gods coming through in the jiggiest attire. And if you see me in school, it was Emily and Messiah. But you remember me as Taiwan, the God body. Respected by the teachers, they called me Mr. Hardy as a boy. I studied the truth to solve mysteries. Now I'm a grown ass man chopping jewels consistently. And Tyrone, I can't call you the Judas for messing with my girl. Because when we was both losers. We were friends, but we broke truces over the lust of women, letting the devil confuse us. But we did our thing in Allah's name, bringing understanding to the cipher when the stars came. Peace to Johnny Justice, aka Johnny James. When you passed, we drew a big 7 for your name. And I heard when you got hit by that car, you was passing out lessons. So it's good that God went giving the blessing. Peace. That's it. Yo, that's the thing she got it. Physical apparatus rooted in blackness. Knowledge seed schooling with supreme mathematics. Teaching the masses education and fashion. I'm an MC with the passion. Just a rapper that's rapping. That's the Asiatic physical apparatus rooted in blackness. Knowledge seed schooling with supreme mathematics. Teaching the masses education and fashion. I'm an MC with the passion. You just a rapper that's rapping. You stuck on the track, you need to consider the fact that the lyrics is lacking, but I'm spitting this back. If I'm a rap, in my wisdom attracts. My mommy's calling me daddy because I'm father of rap. Need a smack down on wax. Ever since a black crown full of facts. And I know what you're thinking, he on a knowledge tip, like he got a scholarship, but dollars make sense and that nigga's swallowing it thick. Pussy a skinny cat, acting like he brought it can fit. I'm blast on with hollow tips, look nice to me, it's last but me. But you getting frustrated cause I exercise my vocabulary when you have to worry cause I attract the shorties and you wanna get plugged out and act like you know we put it's high intelligence, goodwill and benevolence, courteousness, respect for the elders and the kids. That's the Asiatic physical apparatus rooted in blackness. Now the city school level supreme mathematics, teaching the masses education and fashion. I'm an MC with a passion, just a rapper that's rapping. That's the Asiatic physical apparatus rooted in blackness. Now the city school level supreme apparatus, teaching the masses education and fashion. I'm an MC with a passion, just a rapper that's rapping. All these black niggas talking about the smacking bitches. and I'm attracting business with my mathematics. Cause it's savage. They juggle away your life but never outlive the master. My mind and body Asiatic. I be that lyrical rapper, the core static in the mind, which is the addict. Moving the body of the masses with mental intelligence, physical fitness, spiritual development, learn through social discipline. I make this in the hopes that you were listening to the potency in my lyrics. Soul release of spirit, spoken in gold scrolls to mold you in my image. 85 is we can build, but 10% is get diminished. Lyrically, they were foolish. Flipping these lyrical mathematics like a chemist, cooking lyrics like a chemist. Subliminally, rappers be spitting lyrics at me, but my energy picks it up through mental telepathy. Cooking the recipe that's its heaven. With my secret ingredients, no one knows the essence of it, but the overstanding of God owns my existence to be born in the physical of God, king of the planet of soul, controller of the universe, supreme being who existed first. Master Asiatic physical apparatus rooted in blackness, now received schooling with supreme mathematics, teaching the masses education of fashion. I'm an MC with a passion, who just a rapper that's rapping. Master Asiatic physical apparatus rooted in blackness, now received schooling with supreme mathematics, teaching the masses education of fashion. I'm an MC with a passion. You just a rapper that's rapping. All right. We're gonna end off there for now. I'm gonna say I'll bring back some more tunes a little later, you know what I mean? But yo, let's get into our lesson for the day. So the lesson for the day is initiative and referendum process. Okay, so now basically, you know, let's go through this here. So let's start off. All right, it says introduction, citizens initiative. Now you have two types of initiative. You have citizens initiative and a popular referendum. So let's go through these things and see what these things mean. So it says here, starting off, introduction, citizens initiative and popular referenda are two forms of direct democracy. So you know how people talk about democracy, you know what I'm saying? Talk about democracy. This is how you actually implement democracy, because you know, now we know, you know, many people wrote down, you know, democrats and all of that, you know, saying democracy and whatnot. They're dealing with demon, you know, saying demonocracy, if it's such a word. But the science is democracy coming from the Greek word meaning the rule of the people. So how do the people actually implement some type of rule? You know what I mean? So let's go into this. All right, so it says the citizen initiative. The citizen initiative process enables citizens to bypass their state legislature by passing proposed statutes and, in some cases, constitutional amendments on the ballot. 24 states have citizen initiative process. You know what I mean? Okay, now we're dealing with that's dealing with citizens. How citizens can take some type of they can bypass the state legislator instead of going through the politicians. They could take this petition or initiative straight to the government. You know what I mean? And then it says the popular referendum process allows voters to approve or repeal an act of the legislature. 24 states have popular referendum processes. Now, I was looking through the states and whatnot. I didn't see New York on there, so I was kind of tight about that. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't even be able to try to get people together in my state to try to implement this shit, you know what I'm saying? But for people in other states, you know what I'm saying, y'all might be able to, you know what I'm saying, get this popping. So anyway, it says in 2022, NCSL published Initiative and Referendum in the 21st Century, an in-depth study on initiative and referenda that includes recommendations for policymakers. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about the policies, you know what I'm saying? As far as when you're dealing with, you know, in the public, and the private as well, you know what I'm saying? But in the private, you create your own policies. In the public, you gotta, you know, deal with the policies that they create. So, you know what I mean? But if you want to change those policies or have some kind of say-so in those policies, then you can manifest a popular referendum or a citizens referendum, you know what I mean? So it says on the graphic below, select the citizen initiative or popular referenda at the top of the map. Then select the topic from the column at the left for comprehensive information, or select a state in the map for specific information. So, you know, so you go down here, you see these different states that are, you know, highlighted are the states for, you know, see the states for citizen initiative and state initiative. Popular referendum and citizen and what did I say? Citizen what? Citizen initiative. So so states and years established. I went down to this one here, submission of timelines, but petition and application process. Let's see what that's on. All right, state status. Select a state from the column in the left of the graphic for more information. All right. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, okay. So yeah, see, only the red states light up. So the red states are the states that you can do this in. Like New York, can't do it in New York. New York don't pop up. But you know, Maine, you know, was it Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, Montana, Arizona, Minnesota, Florida, Oklahoma, Arizona, California, Oregon, you know, all these states up here, you know what I'm saying? All of that, all these states. South Dakota, Wyoming, North Dakota, you know what I mean? So, all right, so let's go. All right, now let's go to the petition and application process. So what's the process of how to do this? Okay. It says petition and application process. Most states require proponents of a proposed law to follow guidelines. So in other words, there's a certain law that's already in place and you want to make some kind of change to that. You have to state the said law and then I guess, you know, go along to how you want to, you know, make some kind of change to the policy of it. So these guidelines may include an application process, registering a certain number of sponsors, submitting the full text and the explanation of the measure, affidavits of the office or officers to the file with, registering a proponent or opposition organization, campaign financing issues, and process of withdrawing an initiative. So in other words, you got to put together some kind of campaign and so forth, or an opposing opposition, you know what I'm saying, or register a proponent in a form of maybe an affidavit and so forth, you know, with an explanation of the measure, you know what I mean, explaining, you know, what it is, what your quarrel is, or what, you know, you see fit and how it should be and so forth and so forth, you know what I mean? So now it says applications and filings. So let's just say, you know, for this state, it says a state, the citation, that's the number or whatever, and then the number of signatures to file. So say, for example, in certain states, these are ones that have already been done. And in these states, these are the number of people that filed or whatever. So, 18 states require applications material with the state secretary of state. So basically, if you're in one of these states, you would state, you would file these documents in these states under these different, you know, subsections, you know what I'm saying, or codes or whatever these are right here, you know what I'm saying, statutes and so forth. So for different states, they got different statutes and whatnot. So you would file them under these different statutes, you know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So that's how that goes. 2 states require applications for lieutenant governors. All right, 5 states require proponents to file application materials with attorney generals. So different states have you filing with different people. So those states up here have you filing with the Secretary of State. These 2 states, Alaska and Utah, have you filing with the lieutenant governor. These states here, California, Idaho, Massachusetts, Ohio, Idaho, Ohio, South Dakota, you file those with the attorney general. and 4 states require filing with other entities. You know what I'm saying? So these are the different other entities that these different states have you file with. So Colorado is the Legislative Council. Florida is the Division of Elections. Illinois is the it says none of the elections on the board. All right, Legislative Research Council for South Dakota. Campaign finance. All 24 citizen initiative states require political organizations supporting or opposing a ballot measure. Also, almost always consider the political action committee to follow state campaign finance laws. So in other words, like your campaign can't be financed with like illegal street money or something like that, or you know what I mean, things like that. They want to make sure it's clean money and everything, blah 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 blah, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you know, processes. Withdrawal and initiatives. 9 states have explicit process for withdrawal of an initiative from circulation. So if you put something in and you say you change your mind, like, nah, you know what? Then again, we want that. That's a good thing. And then you want to withdraw your proposal or whatever, and you know that's the process of withdrawing it. You know what I mean? These different states tell you different ways to do so. You know what I mean? Petition withdrawal process. So for these different states, this is the process to withdraw your petition. You know, y'all could pause it and read it if y'all want, you know, come back to it. I'm just kind of skimming through it. It says 14 states do not have any process for withdrawing. Alaska, Florida, da, 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 da. So all those states, those 14 states don't have a process for withdrawing. So once you put in those states, once you put it in, I guess it's just in. You can't like withdraw it. But they don't have a process for that. So let's go back up. Petition content. Okay, what must be the content in the petition? Okay, every state. All right, I'm gonna read this off the reader.
In every state, petitions must follow guidelines, which vary by state. Petitions always include a title and/or summary of the proposed measure, although who writes this information varies. Several states require 2 officials to write or review the title and/or summary, given their importance to a ballot measure. Petition sheets also always include space for signatures. Other requirements may include a legal warning, a statement that the petition circulator is paid, a summary of the proposed measure, the full text of the measure, the county or district where the signature was collected, and more. Who writes the title and summary of proposed measures? 17 states have at least one government official draft or review the petition title and/or summary, while proponents draft this language in 9 states. Details on who or which offices write the title and summary are listed below. State. Citation. Who drafts title and/or summary? Alaska.
So you have to have each state, you know, saying they have different people that draft the proposed measure. You know what I mean? The title summary. Or who writes the title of summary? So in other words, you might have put a lot of stuff in your proposal. Then these different entities of each state will draw up what's called a summary of proposal. You know what I'm saying? Title and summary of proposed measures. So in other words, like they'll summarize everything you put in your And so for Alaska, that's done by the Lieutenant Governor. Arizona, proponents, Attorney General for California, Colorado, you know what I'm saying, and all that other stuff. Read down there. So. Statutes on petition and content. So these are the statutes that verify.
States include a range of requirements for petition contents, including legal warnings, serial numbers provided by officials, notarization, date of the election the measure is to be voted upon, the measure's full text, summary, the district or county where the signature was gathered, if the circulator is paid, fiscal statement abstract, affidavit of circulator, circulator information, rights of the potential signer, names of proponents or proponent organization, statement of the proponent, organization and deadline for signatures, statutes for petition contents for each state.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. So basically, that's what they say. It must be within the content of the petition. The district or the county where the signature was gathered. Fiscal statement abstract, affidavit of circulation, circulator information, rights of the potential signers, names of proponents or proponent organization. So in other words, like you have like a attestation where everybody agrees, like, yeah, we all signed this, we're all competent, we're all over the age of 18 or 21, you know what I'm saying, we're all of the age of majority, and you know, we all in agreement to sign this, you know what I mean? So it's called the attestation. And also where you're all witnessing each other's signatures, you know what I'm saying, or autographs, rather I say, you know what I mean? So statements of proponent, organization, and proponent means the one who's making the proposal. You know what I mean? That's the proponent. Statement of the proponent, organization, and deadline for signatures. Statutes for petitions, contents for each state. So each of these states, these are the different statutes that verify, you know, saying like that's what your content must consist of or whatever. You know what I mean? So those are the different ones for each state. All right, so what else? Petition review, circulation, signatures. I'm gonna go to this real fast, see what this talk about. Circulators, individuals who physically gather signatures are referred to as circulators. So yeah, the brother Malik Allah, the brother who was going around at all the parliaments, the guard who was going around at all the parliaments gathering all the signatures so that we could get a law and justice 5% a square, a law and justice 5% a square, you know what I'm saying, at the corner of a law school. He was the circulator, you know what I'm saying? He would be known as a circulator. He was a circulator that did that. He was the individual who physically went around and gathered the signatures, you know what I mean, to make that happen. So he was an actual circulator. So see, he was following this process, God. So what I'm saying, he did his research, he did his homework, and he knew what he had to do, and he went out and he executed that. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's just say he was doing like I'm doing with the international organization and all of that, how I'm like asking everybody like, yo, what's good? Y'all trying to help out? Y'all trying to add on? And I'm waiting around for everybody to add on, and ain't nobody going to add on. So this brother went out and he just did it. Just like the older guys told me, God, if you see something that need to be done, go do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't sit around. You ain't got to wait for nobody approval and all of that. Just go and do it. If it's right in his eye, God, go and do it. So that brother went around. We seen him at the parliaments, you know what I'm saying, collecting all the signatures. He came to me. I was like, no doubt, I'm with that. I put my signature on the paper, you know what I'm saying, my autograph, rather I say. And he got enough autographs to where he was able to go and present the petition along with, you know, everything, the reasoning and proposal he drew up to why we want this. You know, probably gave the history of a law and justice and everything they did in Harlem, the work they put in, the influence they had in the community and so forth, and and why this is known by many people and all people are in agreement that we want this sign to be up there. You know what I'm saying? So he made that happen, yo. Peace to that God. He put in the work. He showed and proved. You know what I'm saying? And congratulations too to me and all the people that put their autograph on the petition. You know what I'm saying? Because we all help make history. So, you know what I mean? So if I come around with a petition, know that I'm trying to do something positive as well for the nation. So if I come around with a petition, if y'all been watching my videos and y'all know what's going on, this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I'll explain exactly what it's going to be for. You know what I mean? So general requirements. Every state includes requirements for circulators operating in the state. Most common requirements that they be at least 18 years of age, a citizen, a registered voter, and or a resident of the state. So basically, you know, so I don't know if the brother is a registered voter or whatever, but he would be considered, I guess, a resident of the state, you know what I'm saying, living within the state of New York, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Now, and then for this type of thing, this is in the public, y'all understand, this is in the public. So you don't approach this on all of that private stuff like now, it's like, oh, you can't do it and all that. No, this is a public process. So there's public policies and protocols that you have to follow to get something like this done in the public. Now, if it was a private thing and we owned that land privately, that land and everything around it was private property, then we could put up our sign and do whatever we wanted to do, and we don't have to ask nobody permission. But being that that area is still incorporated by the state, and also when they put that sign up there in all caps, that is also an incorporation. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's all good. It's still there for the legacy of a law and justice. So, what I'm saying, that's the significance overall of it, whether it's in the public or not. You know what I mean? So, now, like I say, if we build and get up on these, it's information that we've been building on and adding on and so forth, we could make that whole area private property. You know what I'm saying? But, let's go. Let's continue. So, yeah, so basically, So, yeah, so county recorder of justice of peace cannot have had a civil or, okay, these are the requirements. Could not have had a civil or criminal penalty or violation of election code, basically have a clean record, basically, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. These are different requirements. No criminal background, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff, blah, 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 blah. So, we got to get a brother that's, has no infractions with the law or anything like that to, manifest that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I've been arrested a few times for dumb stuff in the past. So, I don't know if that might be some kind of hold against me. You know what I mean? Doing so. So anyway, let's continue. It says affidavits of sworn oaths. So, like I was saying about the attestation, more so than doing an affidavit of sworn oaths and doing a notary and all that, we're going to do what's called an attestation, where we all attest or bear witness to each other's signatures. You know what I mean? So that's the process with that. It says 2 states require signatures of sworn statements as to accuracy or authenticity of the petition. So, yeah, and these are the statutes for each state that would verify that. So as you can see, as you have all these different parts of your petition, you're going to put these statutes, because like I said, this is a public thing. So, you're dealing with these statutes or whatever. So you're going to put these statutes in your memorandum of laws or memorandum of statutes that are going to, like at the end of it, you list like, okay, section code, 24, all these different ones for your state that we went through, whatever. You're going to put each of those in there at the bottom of your petition in a section called the memorandum of law. You know what I mean? Memorandum of laws. Paying circulators. Several states have had statutory bans on paying circulators, either per signature on. In general, most of these bans have been overturned by the courts. Furthermore, statutes. So in other words, people could be paid for like doing this and gathering the signatures and so forth.
Furthermore, statutes allowing or requiring paying per signature have been overturned by the courts. There has been one exception. The Case Initiative and Referendum Institute v. Yeager, 2001, in North Dakota upheld the ban on paying per signature. South Dakota has a unique statute regarding pay, may pay based on hourly wage or salary, express or implied minimum signature requirements for the circulator to meet, may terminate someone's employment if they do not meet certain productivity requirements, and may pay discretionary bonuses based on reliability, longevity, and productivity. SDCL December 13th, 28.
So in other words, a circulator could get paid for their hourly time and stuff that they put in. Saying they're going around for hours on the streets or at different events and, talking to people and explaining stuff and getting them to put their signature and blah, 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 and all of that. Like that's time and stuff out of their schedule in life. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely would agree with that. Like, yeah, a person should be able to get paid for that. Like, why not? You know what I'm saying? And you know, too, just I'm now thinking about it, even though I didn't see New York in this thing here, if the brother did that for the street name, saying to be done, and he did it by way of petition and so forth, and obviously he was following somewhat of this process, so maybe there is something for New York that you can do. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just look more into it. This is like the first one I came across, and I was like, okay, got a lot of information, so I chose this one to build on. But I'm gonna do some further research, you know what I mean, on the matter, and see, look more into it for my state, for New York, you know what I mean, for this so-called state. All right, so petition reviews, ballot access and preparation, the election. All right, petition review. All right, let me read this off. Petition review, creation, and public notice.
Some states offer no assistance or advice to initiative proponents on the draft of their proposed law. And in some states, the review is purely technical. The proposal is reviewed to ensure it meets the legal requirements for format and style and adheres to drafting conventions. However, in about half of the 24 initiative states, proponents can get drafting assistance to improve the quality and consistency of initiative proposals. In these states, sponsors may take a draft, or even just an idea, to a legislative office for assistance with the form and content of the initiative before submitting the proposal to the appropriate state official.
Right.
States
also, just like with the Office of Legal Affairs, when you deposit your treaties or your declarations or what have you with the Secretary General, they filter it through the Office of Legal Affairs, and they're the ones that kind of go over all your documents and make sure they meet all the protocols and everything before they actually file it. So they kind of help you out with that. So they help you out with this process as well. That's cool.
States also have varying processes for reviewing petitions. Fiscal statements are the most common type of review, giving estimates and analysis on the likely fiscal impact the proposed measure will have on the state. Other types of review might include recommendations on wording. And many states include some type of public review or notice of proposed measures as well. For indirect initiative states, this review process involves the legislature and can be quite extensive. Fiscal analysis and general reviews. 18.
Okay, so, they want to know, what the analysis and everything is going to be before they do so. You know what I mean? They're gonna overview everything. You know what I'm saying? Make sure everything is up to standard and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean? And now you got ballot access and preparation. Yeah, because they were talking earlier about how you can prepare a ballot or something like that, or change the ballot or something like that. All right, it says ballot access and preparation.
Before a measure is placed on a ballot, states decide which election it will appear on, how the ballot title and summary are created, and any time restrictions involved. In some states, the legislature or governor may order a special election for a measure. Which election and time restrictions, if any? State.
All right, so yeah, so basically, that's dealing with the ballot title and summaries are created and any time restrictions involved. In some states, the legislature or governor may order a special election for a measure. So, that's how they handle that process right there. So before a measure is placed on a ballot, states decide on which election it will appear on. So in other words, they're not just going to place your measure or your petition on any type of ballot. It has to be something that actually pertains to that, or be on on the ballot of a party that actually will support that petition. You know what I'm saying? Or can actually get it, get it passed and so forth, what the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So in some states, the legislative governor may or governor may order a special election for a measure. You know what I mean? So that's how that's done. The election and the effect. So after the election happens, how does it affect? The requirements for the election with statewide ballot measures vary greatly by state. States have statutes covering conflicting or competing measures, the percent or the votes needed to pass a measure, and repeal the change restrictions. So it says conflicting or competing measures. 17 states have statutes in place nothing that if nothing or more conflicting measures are on the same ballot, the measure receives the most votes passes. Oh, okay. So, all right, yeah. So, measure of the same ballot. So yeah, so basically, if done by an election, basically, whoever has the most votes, their petition gets passed, or whatever, or their measure gets passed or placed on the ballot. So yeah, so all of that is done by way of vote. So yeah, so bringing me back to the initial, thing here, referendum, which is basically you have a citizens initiative and then a popular referendum. So by the citizens initiative is a process that enables citizens to bypass their state legislature, meaning don't deal with the politics and go straight to the government by bypassing proposed statutes and, in some cases, constitutional amendments on the ballot. So basically, and then a popular referendum or referendum of the population, whether they are citizens or not, you know what I mean? But a citizens initiative done strictly by citizens, you know what I mean? But popular, just the whole population. Process allows voters to approve or appeal the act of the legislature, you know what I mean? So, most times through citizen initiative, they say, you bypassing the legislatures, but if you need the legislature to get it passed through Senate, then, that's very rare that that's going to happen. It's going to take like the whole world court of justice or something like that, and whoever else to all agree on this. It'll have to be like a international, not an international agreement, but a national agreement. But that would have to be done by all the. It would have to be a large census. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's just for the state, I think you would have to have a large census, you know what I mean? So that's why you got to start things on a local level, a city level, town, city level, then as you build up, you go to the state, and as you build up and connect with other states, then y'all might get something started over to create a national forum, you know what I mean? And then maybe an international forum, you know what I'm saying? But everything starts from, you know what I'm saying? It's a process, you know what I mean? Everything is a process. So, but anyway, so let me not keep this too long, you know what I mean? And actually I wanted to do this and not in opposition, but maybe more so an add-on to the video I did. And if you could go back and see the video I did about the plebiscite, because the plebiscite is kind of like, the same thing with this too, you know what I mean? You got to like get all these people together to do it, and that's really hard to do, man. It sounds easy, like, oh, just go around and get signatures, but it's kind of harder than that, you know what I'm saying? But everything starts with a process. So on that note, y'all, I'm gonna say peace. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Try to make this video shorter and shorter, like I always say. All right, y'all. And on that note, I'll say peace. I'll be back to y'all in another video. Peace.